Hey, Coach.
Hey, Sam.
So over the over the past couple weeks, in addition to what has happened with Anton at the start of the season, um, we've learned of other things going on at the club. I just want to ask you not about that situation, but how it has affected play on the pitch. And do you think there are things off the pitch that are affecting the team's play on the pitch as you prepare?
Tom, as you know, it's not to be a philosopher here, but when you are in life, everything that happens outside of the pitch has an impact on what happens on the pitch because we are dealing with human beings. So there is an element of that. Frankly, I want to focus on football, and sometimes I don't want to go here and talk about the difficulties. It's part of the job to get the team prepared, and I have to get on with that. I need to make sure that myself, to start with the coaching staff and then the players, we focus on football, we focus on our profession, and we make sure that we put our attention on the job, on what we have to do, knowing that dealing with human beings, they can be affected by a number of things, but I am very clear with the players that they know what expectation I have of them as in terms of behavior, in terms of commitment, in terms of daily positivity that they have to bring, in terms of attitude, in terms of grit that I want from them, because I fully expect to work with professional players, and I need to have a professional attitude from them.
And then my last question, Coach, how are you holding up? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing okay. I know that it's part of the job. I have to keep going, and I'm dealing with different issues, but this is my job, and I will never go out and look for excuses. As you know, I put the face always in front of what happens when, especially when things go well is easy, but when things don't go well, I think that we are and I want to stay on the football topic as much as possible, because this is what people are interested in, watching football players playing our sport, and I want to focus on that. I want to see our team growing, but I'm not prepared to compromise on the standards that I want to give to the club, and I want the players to have. And who doesn't adhere to that, it just puts himself out. For me, as simple as that.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Ashley, we'll move on to you.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good, Ashley. Thank you.
Good. I apologize for the car alarm. I'm doing well, thank you. The car alarm that's going off outside of the media area at Quail Hollow. But
Actually, it must be my age. Yeah. It might be my age, and I'm getting deaf, but I really cannot hear that. So
can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, but Carol is laughing when I mention my age, but I mean it's anyway.
Not a day over 25, but I apologize. There's a little bit of noise in the background, and you can also see that Alex and I are both here from Quail Hollow. So Solarte, we miss you. But let's rewind a little bit and tell me about the initial deal to bring Andre Shinashiki and Nuno Santos, those two separate deals rather, to Charlotte. What made them appealing, and we'll go from there.
I think this is a question to which I can answer only partially, because when Andre came here, I was assistant coach, so I was not so much involved into this kind of discussion. Of course, there is a discussion going on with the front office to a certain degree, but I was not the head coach. So Andre came, and I think you have to ask the front office about that. And when Nuno came as well as to the club, I think it was another deal that I was involved partially because I was interim. So he was asked, obviously, my opinion. I gave it, and it's a private matter about what the discussion that we had. And I think I'm not probably the one that can answer completely this question.
And to follow up on that, when were you made aware of the police report that was filed following the start of the season, rather?
I think, listen, Ashley, I know that everybody's gonna go about this topic. As a football coach, I think that there is a statement that the club gave that my answer might not answer to exactly to the question you are asking me. I had partial information in the sense that I knew that the club, to my knowledge, Ashley, as soon as the club knew, and I only got very partial information about it, because I think is an issue that has got different implications, and that's why I wasn't trying to be evasive, but I don't want to mislead. To my knowledge, as soon as the club knew that there was something, investigation going on, I think the club informed the MLS straight away, and so knowing that I want to be respectful to all parties here, and I always wanted to be respectful to all parties here, and I tried to, to answer to the best of that I could in order to not to mislead people and in order to protect everybody's privacy until the question was resolved. Obviously, not just the club, or of course the players involved and the other party as well, because it's a private matter that needs to be solved first, and then I don't have enough elements to be able to comment too much about that.
And lastly, with the regulations that are in place as far as the way that teams are able to kind of govern their own rosters, is there a plan or a way to waive or essentially cut either player? And is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Actually, the statement says quite clearly that all the players are employed by MLS, and then again, I'm not the most equipped to answer to this question. You have to ask the front office probably more. You have to ask the MLS, because my job is to prepare the team in the best possible way and to try to get them, which is already, I can tell you, it's not the easiest job. Many things happen, and frankly, I prefer to smile about that because, frankly, I really am getting tired of all these distractions of the field, like some pointed out, and I want, and the front office also knows my requests about, the roster, that they know exactly what I am, what I want football-wise as well, and to have this many distractions is not something that I am pleased with. Of course, I need to get on with that. I'm not complaining, but this technicality that you are asking me, these are questions that they have to be asked elsewhere.
And lastly, who do you look to? This season has been a roller coaster for you, from Anton's
let's
death.
call it that. Caro wins.
Caro wins, yes, that's one way to put it. But who on the pitch are you looking to? Obviously, Ashley's been dealing with injury. He's new to the club, new to North Carolina, new to Charlotte. But who are you looking to in these instances for that on the field leadership?
Honestly, everyone, especially the senior players, they know Arizona Full, Caro Swiderski, Ashley, Christian Kalina, Guzman, that unfortunately we didn't have back. Obviously, the ones that they have more experience in the league or more experience internationally. As players, I ask them to lead more, but honestly, I expect everybody to pull the weight. All the players, including the youngsters, they sign professional contracts. They are professional players, and as I said before, I fully expect a professional behavior from them on a daily basis. So everybody, I think, it's ready to pull his weight. The squad that I I can tell you that they trained really well this week, despite all the gossips around, and I don't want to fuel any more gossips. I want to really focus on football. They came on Monday after a difficult weekend, ready to go again and ready to be prepared in the best possible way. This is what is in my mind. This is my focus. I have to make sure that the players are focused to train and to do the best on the pitch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley. We'll move to Carol.
Hey, Christian.
Hey, Carol.
Why is Nuno Santos playing for Crown Legacy and Andrea Shinyashiki is not?
Again, I know it's gonna be the topic that everybody wants to talk about. And again, I can say very easily that we can refer to the statement, and I don't want to address this topic. But yeah, listen, with Nuno, I had like a little discussion on one training session, and I thought it was good at the time that we had a little break, just on the professional side. But and then after, when everything came out, obviously things were a little bit different. But listen, with the guys, I don't want to dwell too much onto that. And I think that for me, the focus has to be on Charlotte FC and on the players that they train on the daily basis, and they work hard on a daily basis.
One more sticky one. Andrea Shinyashiki said he is eligible to play in MLS. Will he play for Charlotte FC?
Not on this weekend. I think it's a club decision. I think it's important to have everything clear before. And again, I don't get all the info about how the situation is. I think is the club, they are dealing with that, and so for this weekend, no.
How's Camille?
Camille is getting better, and is questionable, but is recovering better than expected. He also had a little cold that wasn't great. It was a little bit of a blow for us because he was hitting form, and his hitting form still is fully committed. He's a player that is developing nicely, and I was very happy with him, so much so, as you know, in the game against Tormenta, I wanted to give him the captain airband because I thought he deserved that. He had a great attitude in training. He was training really hard, well, showing some leadership signs as well, because I think he has this ability to dig deep in difficult situations. He also was at the end of many criticism. It's not that I follow social media that much, but it came also to my ears that he was criticized because of performance numbers, and I think he put few people back to their place. He's a young player that is coming to this league. He needed time, like everybody else, to adjust to the league, to adjust to a new methodology, because he started with the previous coach, and then many expectations were on him, but I think he responded really well, and we are really looking forward to welcoming him back in the team.
So a possibility maybe for Saturday, or
maybe, I don't know. We have a tight schedule in the next couple of weeks at least, and then so I need to I need to evaluate really carefully, because I don't want to. I'd rather wait a little bit more and have him fully fit and fully 100% with no risks, rather than to rush him back and then lose him for a long time. So this is what I don't want. I was very clear with the performance department, and obviously I follow that guidelines because they are the professional supposed to lead in that department, that I told them very clearly that I don't want to have any players that come back and then we lose him for a long time. I'd rather wait a little bit longer, but then be able to count on that player for. And I don't want to lose him with the same injury. Another injury can occur because football is football. You can have an impact injury that nobody can predict. But one thing that I would hate is to lose him for the same injury. This I will not accept.
Thanks, Christian.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Will.
Afternoon, Christian. How are you?
Afternoon, Will. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Will. I hope you're fine too. Good.
Fantastic. I know Ben didn't feature last week. I know he's probably getting over the same kind of cold that Camille is.
Yeah, maybe
how is
more
he
severe.
doing?
More severe. Unfortunately, Ben, he had the most severe form of cold, I think. He looked like, and it was a sneaky one because he was feeling better a day and then worse another day. So it was even difficult to understand what was going on. I knew he was very frustrated because he initially didn't want to say anything. And so hoping that he would have gone away, but he actually became worse. But the last couple of sessions, I started to see the usual Ben. Before, even though he said he felt better, I could see around his eyes, I could see that he wasn't the usual Ben with the usual energy that he normally has. The last couple of sessions gave me a little bit of hope. Maybe not 100% yet, but surely getting better.
Did you see what you wanted to out of Vinny Mello on Sunday from Crown Legacy to make you feel more comfortable including him on Saturday?
Not yet, because I think that I had a clear discussion and a frank discussion with Vinny in terms of different things that I expect of hard work and to be able to carry on this hard work. So I think that there is we just have to wait and monitor a number of parameters that I want to be sure before I can be totally comfortable with Vinny. He knows that I rate him a lot as a player, that he has got qualities that, of course, I can see, like many people can see, but I need to have a full confidence that he can carry on the work and he's ready and fit to carry on the work that is required. Because Crown Legacy obviously play in a league that is not MLS, Next Pro is not MLS.
And lastly, about this weekend, I know that as you get more entrenched with Charlotte FC, your involvement with City Football Group becomes more in the rearview mirror. But is there any, again, somewhat feeling when it comes to seeing them again? I know that Charlotte FC had a pretty good record against them a year ago. What are your emotions going once again against a side you know very well?
Yeah, it's a club that I have in my heart. It's part of my professional career, of my past, and I was treated very well. I think I gave everything I could while I was at New York City, and I had a great relationship with the people at the time. Some of them, they are still there, and I still have a great relationship with them, with players, coaching staff, front office, and so it's a club that is that I love, and so, but at the same time is a club that we need to play against, and we will do our best to win the game. I think the guys work really well, and we know that we play a very strong team that is probably part of maybe the strongest football group, in my opinion, in the world. And it's going to be a tough challenge.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, Will.
Thanks, Will. It's time for a couple more. Alex.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, Alex.
There's a perception on the internet that the club tried to trade away Andre Shinyashiki in light of the police reports. And I'm just curious, do you think that's a fair perception to have?
I don't know, and again, I am not the one that execute the trades, and I think this is a question in which I can't really answer. What is the perception? I know one thing, that the club this is something I can say that, to my knowledge, as I said to Ashley, as soon as the club knew that there was an investigation, I think that they made MLS no. And therefore, I think in that sense, I'm not sure whether the perception is right or wrong. I only know that the club, I think it was fully cooperative with MLS. This, to the best of my knowledge, this I know.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
All right, we'll do two more. We'll go Jorge, and then we'll end with Mike.
Hey, Christian, how are you?
Hey, Jorge. Fine, thank you. I hope you're well.
Hey. Thank you, thank you. I know Carol briefly touched on it, but I want to ask you, like, personally, does Andre and Nuno, do they have a way back into this Charlotte team?
I don't know. We have to see how he goes on everything. Me personally, I talk about myself. I never close the door to anyone because I know life taught me how experience works. But at the moment, I honestly, Jorge, I want to focus on the players that they are in the roster, because we are not, we want to talk about the game all the time, but we don't want to talk about the players that they are training. We don't want to talk about football. So for me, I understand that there is another side, the gossip side. I'm not a big fan of that kind of that side, and I would like really to put the focus on the 20 that they trained really hard this week for Charlotte FC.
Okay. And then is there anything from the last two games against New York City FC that the team can carry into this match?
Yeah, the result. That would be great. No, I think that against New York, we played two very different games, and it was really, I remember the games really well, and these four different halves. You know, when you say games of two halves, that was, for me, those two games, they epitomize that the best, because we started the first half in New York where they played a lot and we were really passive. In the second half, we came out and we pressed them really high and changed the complexion of the game. At home, again, we did the opposite. We started really aggressive and created many chances, and then unfortunately we went with 10 men and we had to defend the whole second half. So I think that in those games we show a resilience that I loved, a way of understanding the game and a way of changing the game within the game. And this is what I want to carry on in this game, to have for the guys to understand the moments of the game and to be able to change and to be effective in the different moments of the game. When we have to defend, we defend strongly. When we have to attack, we attack strongly. When we have to press, we press strongly. So I thought in those two games against a very strong team that were reigning champions, I think that guys showed a good phase of Charlotte FC, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rory.
All right, last question here now to Mike.
Good afternoon, Christian.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Nathan met with the media yesterday and was trying to verbalize the frustration of having dominant possession in the final third and not being able to convert. It seems like that's been a theme where you guys have had trouble finding the net. Is that looked better in training this week? Are guys more cognizant of it? Because Nathan was essentially saying that we're getting pressure, but we can't finish the deal. We can't get it in the net.
Yeah. I think Mike is. I'm glad that he feels frustration, because I feel twice as frustrated as him, because I thought that in the first 30 minutes against 35 maybe against the DC, I thought that the boys looked quite dominant and we were playing essentially most of the game in their own half. When you have that kind of possession, you should create more, in my opinion. and to make that kind of possession count. Because every time that you play in opposition half, obviously you leave half of your pitch empty, and so the counterattack can happen. But you accept that deal because you want to create more. I think that we are due a good performance in that sense, because the structure is there, and as I said to the boys yesterday, the structure, we can create a structure as a coaching staff, we can give them the principle of play, then it's up to the players to execute on the pitch. They are good enough, they have good enough quality, good enough understanding to make those moments count more. Because I thought that then after they were saying that we didn't play the second half, but I thought that the first half we were quite dominant, and it's difficult for any team, even for the big teams, to be dominant for 90 minutes. So it would be very, very arrogant from us to think that we can dominate 90 minutes against all the opposition. When we do, I think we have to make it count more. And the second half, I thought, if anything, was even. So they had some chances, we had some chances. We had a chance with Nathan, for example, from the corner. We had another couple. They make it count. I think that our chance with Nathan was more blatant than the one that Benteke created for himself. Of course, we can defend better in that moment, but this is a guy that out of a moment creates something, create a special moment for the team. But is for the players as well, when they're on the pitch, to make sure that they make it count. And for me, the most important quality, Mike, is the grit. So the ability the willing to win every duel. Of course, you cannot win every duel, but to go to the next duel with the idea that you want to win. And maybe you lose the next 5, but on the 6th one, you go with the will to win. This is, for me, the most important thing that the team has to show, individually and collectively. When you have that, you always have a chance to win games and to create momentum.
All right, last one before we let you get out of here. We're gonna go to the movies, you and I. And when you get to the movies, what is the go-to movie snack for Christian Lattanzio?
Ooh. I would say if I am with the kids, probably I like salty. So, but if I go with the kids, I would go with I don't know. Can I mention brands here? Woody, can I mention a brand?
Yeah, you can mention a brand.
We don't go live.
I don't think we have a candy partner that I can think of.
No, it's I think the peanuts M&Ms I like. If not, the salty popcorn, simple one. What about you, Mike?
I gotta have the popcorn. I gotta have the popcorn. Yeah, but I'm a chocolate guy too, so peanut M&Ms are good. Snow caps.
Okay, I don't know those. Because I think the Americans are, for me, in America, you are the world champions of snacks, of the movie snacks. With you get the gold, the silver, and the bronze, I think. All the medals. So I need to learn. I need to learn few snacks.
Well, put in your homework. That's my homework for you.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Don't do the snacks, Christian. Americans are too heavy. Don't do it.
You can do it in moderation, Carol. Moderation.
Okay.
All right, guys. We appreciate your time today, Christian. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.